Alright, shalom. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to start this video off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, Yahweh, Abba, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, for giving me the spirit to come back and do another video, or hopefully something that could be edifying, or really, this is going to be, a watch alert, getting into some prophecies. So without any further ado, I'm the brother Shariat, and I'm just going to go ahead and get straight into it. We're going to go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, and we're going to start at we're going to go ahead and get into it. Go to 2nd Ezra chapter 15. We're going to start at verse 15. I'm going to start at 14. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. Woe, that means destruction and suffering and agony, to the world and them that dwell therein. At verse 15, it says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords is in their hands. So once again, from verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, so all praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Kal Halal, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Wachabah, Wahadar, Rochakodash, on be able to bring this out. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the news lately, or if you can't feel it in the air, something big is about to kick off, and it's really about to possibly be the next prophecy to be fulfilled, which will be a part of Jacob's trouble. And that being, if you couldn't tell what that was that we just read, race wars. Race wars are coming. That's all I've been feeling in the air and seeing. Every single thing that's been coming my way, by the Spirit, by the Most High, He's been sending. It's been just real. It's inevitable. The race wars are about to kick off. They're about to kick off. I mean, it's no other way you can really put it. Now, later on, we're gonna go ahead and get into some of the articles I've been seeing, and they all have been recent. Everything that's been going on in the news, from the what's her name, Amber Geiger case. You got a brother in I believe Texas, Roy something. He's facing the death penalty for some Edomite wench whore who basically she ended up getting killed, and he said he didn't do it, in the actual person that committed the crime, which was an Edomite, I believe. I read up on the article a little bit last night, but we're gonna actually go into it again. And they admitted to it. They got evidence and everything. It's a big thing. You got Jakes in the world trying to protest for it and start petitions, and pretty much the Jake brother. He got about 15 days, I believe, left. Or they gonna kill him. before he gets put to death. So the judge has the opportunity to step in right now and basically release him due to things we're gonna get into. Then you got you just got so many things into that at Wild Wings. Some heathens, obviously, they came in and they requested not to be sat by the waitress, waiter or the waitress. They requested from them not to be sat by, so-called black people, and they end up getting banned for life. So with all these type of incidences that's occurring, then you got Oklahoma. They just they actually just did a. This is the last one I'm gonna mention, and we're gonna get them off. They actually, I think, they passed a law to where it's like open gun carry out there now. It's crazy. And who the main person that keep the guns? This is what the scriptures is talking about, swords. Let's go back over that real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 15. It's not gonna be too deep of a breakdown on these things because this is a part of Jacob's trouble, which we'll get in 1 second. Chapter 15, 2nd Ezra chapter 15, verse 14 will start at woe to the world. That's this world, the world of Esau. Let's get that real quick. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 9. Salakia, man. First Ezra. Bear with me. 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. And say, for Esau is the end of the world. Has the Edomites fell out of power yet? No, you haven't seen that. And Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. So that's a prophecy everyone's waiting to happen. I mean, waiting to see happen. And this video is only for Israelites. Just want to make that clear for you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans who happen to make up the 12 tribes of Israel, so-called Latinos and Negroes and Native Americans. You happen to make up the 12 tribes of Israel. In the Hebrew, Yasha Allah. So if you're not an Israelite, this doesn't even pertain to you. But you need to know about the judgment that's coming to America, all you heathens. Because you're getting ready to go in slavery. And you're about to see your demise by the Lord himself, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. The Father, the Heavenly Father, yes, he has a son. His name is not Jesus. His name is Yahweh Shai. He comes not to bring peace on earth, but a sword, and gather his hopeful elect, and destroy 2/3 of his own people. So if you're a heathen, or you're a so-called black man, or Mexican, or Puerto Rican, or whatever the hell, Indian, whatever you want to call yourself, and not your biblical identity, come back into this truth, come back into the fold, you're part of that 2/3 number, you will be destroyed. Thus saith the Lord, the Holy Bible, by nuclear fire, which will be the second death for you. But that's another story, another topic. So it says, 2nd Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So let's go back. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. Right? That next Jacob's world hasn't started, so we're in Esau's world. It says 2nd Ezra chapter 15 verse 14. Woe to the world. That's Esau's world. And them that dwell therein. So that's everybody that's in that world. That's want to be partakers of this world. Okay? That's going to be accessories to the murder. Just like Esau's own law state, or whatever. Uphold. And them that dwell therein. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another. So the sword. What is this? This is ancient times. So what would the sword be today? What would the sword? A sword is a killing instrument, right? What would the sword be today? The sword was actually a sword back then. Bow and arrows, stuff like that, right? What would the swords be today? your guns, your missiles, your military, artillery, stuff like that. So it's for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people, that's a race. That's a race of people. One people shall stand up to fight against another. That's another race, right? Race wars and swords in their hands. Those guns, those killing instruments, right? Which fit perfectly with the Oklahoma article we're gonna get into. Let's get this really quick. Genesis chapter 25. We're gonna get a few more scriptures. We're gonna jump into it. Genesis chapter 25. Verse 38, we'll start at. No, Salakia. Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? Now, if you don't know who Esau is, okay, Esau is the so-called white man. It's the progenitor of the so-called white race. Esau is the so-called white man. The Edomites are the so-called white people, okay? And they happen to be the fraternal twin brother of the so-called blacks. Okay, but that's a whole nother topic. But just to give you a heads up, if you may not know. Genesis chapter 27, verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing? My father, bless me, even me also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. So this was right after Jacob ending up getting by the spirit that was set up by the Most High. He put it he used the angel, and he put a spirit over his mother to make sure Jacob got the blessing, because it was already determined who the father loved and who he hated. It tells you that in Romans. So this is not making this up. It was set up, and you get that through what you call subtext. If you don't know what that means, look it up. You got context, supertext, hypertext, and subtext. You get these understandings through subtext, but this understanding is not unlocked. It's not open to everyone. The Most High has to open you up to this, okay, for you to understand this and see this. It says, and Esau lifted up his voice and wept. Verse 39. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be. So he was crying for a blessing because the blessing was just given to Jacob, which is why Jacob is the beginning of the next that follow it. It's going to explain why right here. And Isaac his father answered unto him and said unto Esau, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth. So they live off the earth. They suck the earth dry. They got access to all the resources, right? It says the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. They got access to all the clean waters. They control the water system. They sell you Fiji water from the Fiji mountains, so-called alkaline water and stuff like that. Okay, you keep going. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live. Main point. And by the sword shalt thou live. There you go. That was his blessing. And shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Okay? Now that goes into some history. You have to know some history to truly understand that. But the main point I pulled this for, because that's that sword. Who love, they show you that in so many different ways. That's Esau's blessing. That's why Esau has the military. That's why Esau has all the games. Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six, Call of Duty, and so forth. All these shooting games, all these shooting movies. That's his blessing. He loved guns. Period. He loved missiles. You got different classes of Edomites. The number one military on the planet Earth is Russia. They have something called the Satan, which is a missile which goes up to three times the speed of sound, or something like that. It's faster than the speed of sound. Then they dumped that missile and made an even better one because that's their gift, the sword. Most High gave them understanding for these things, the abilities. Those are their abilities. They dumped that one and they produced his son called the Satan 2, the son of Satan, which is Mach. Mach represents the level or intensity of the speed. And it's Mach 5 or something like that. So it's like 5 times the speed of sound. So to be over, if they shot a missile over here to America, which is Babylon, the daughter of Babylon, it'll be over here in like 10 minutes, tops. This is Esau. Period. He loves war. He loves bloodshed. He lives by the sword. All the killings in the street of Jake, so-called black people, so-called Hispanic people, Latino people, whichever byword you wanna use to understand what I'm saying, what's being said by the Spirit. All right. Let's go ahead and get into it. So that's that sword. So sword gonna be in their hand. So you're gonna have. They show you this on movies. You're gonna have. You really gonna have. This. Then matter of fact, let's keep reading, because that's what that's telling you about. You've been seeing it on the small levels in the past. We've been seeing it on small levels in the past. It says. And Esau hated, verse 41, and Esau hated Jacob because of the following verse, because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, which is his mind, the days of mourning for my father are at hand, because Jacob was old at the time, who later became Israel. He had his name changed to Israel. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Okay, and there you go. Esau ain't right. He wasn't right. That's some family history for you. All right, some ancient history. Let's see. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse. So when you read, if you go back and read that account about woe to the world and them that dwell in for their